for us. Looking at comparables, in the south there's a comparable company that's processing, the last time I had looked at the numbers, about 180 tons a day at 0.87 ounces a ton gold in southern Peru, as I mentioned, and they've been generally utilizing their proceeds to further exploration efforts. It's quite a good return. We're anticipating on our projections a fair 0.5 ounces per ton, and the reason for this, and we feel this is attainable, is the method that's employed in small-scale mining activities. They're visually pursuing the high-grade veins. So if they can't see the gold, they're tossing the material to the side. And where, in fact, in a lot of these in these areas, that put-aside material still contains quite attractive gold values that we could also investigate to process at an opportune time. So looking at some of the features of what I've just discussed, we're looking at really no exploration or mining risk, as we've got about 6,500 to 20,000 small-scale miners actively working and pursuing gold or valuable resources in the northern part of the country. They're doing it in a way that is, consistent, quite active. They're skilled and hardworking. They know where to find it, and they'll continue to do so. And with that, there's quite a bit of ore flow that's moving, as I've mentioned, and so because of that, we don't have to go look for the ore. They can certainly bring it to us. Another feature is our revenues will increase with the gold price appreciation. Certainly, we've been witnessing a lot of that, and that'll bode well for our model going forward. Equally so, local communities, and this is quite important. The local communities are resistant to large-scale mining in order to preserve the small-scale mining industry. And so we feel that the Canada Gold Mineral Processing Plant will be an ideal fit for these communities. In many cases, you'll find foreign companies, or even domestic companies for that matter, move in to small-scale mining areas. They will claim the title, legally so. Many of these activities are informal, but they'll claim the title and they will remove the small-scale miners forcefully. And what you'll have is a situation where maybe 10 or 25 of these miners are working, or maybe 100 of them, or maybe 200 of them. But once they're removed, they leave the areas where they are. They go back to town. They tell another 2,000 of their friends how they've been treated by Company X, and it creates a tremendous amount of uproar and discord with the company that's actively participating there. So with that, we find the Canada Gold model has an opportunity to blend the interests of various sides, which includes the government, which includes non-governmental organizations, which includes the interests of the local community members, and equally concerns the interests of Canada Gold, the company, which can operate as a bit of a connector and a bit of a centerpiece to these types of synergies and these types of solutions. So we are looking at how we are capitalized a couple different ways without just jumping right into this. We've recently completed a financing of $1.15 million. This was done at 33 cents per share. We have post-financing roughly 13 million shares outstanding, which is quite an attractive share structure. We also own roughly 2.5 million shares of a company called Animus Resources, whereas if you're in the gold interested space, as many are, they should be familiar with the story. It's a large gold exploration project in Sonora Province, Mexico. It's performed very well and is trading in and around $1 a share, I would say. So 2.5 million shares of that company. Equally so, there's another roughly $750,000 in property payments owed to Canada Gold from Animus, as in a past life, this entity, which is now Canada Gold, had sold off its asset in this Mexican district that Animus has consolidated. Equally so, Canada Gold owning 50% of CanorPro, and CanorPro, to identify it, is the subsidiary, the company's subsidiary for Peruvian operations. So Canada Gold owns 50% of CanorPro. The other half of CanorPro is owned by Grafton Resources Investment Trust, a London-based closed-end fund. And I will read it to you, as it's probably the easiest way to describe it, is that Grafton has issued a call option to Canada Gold to purchase, at Canada Gold's discretion, within 3 years, the Grafton interest in Procesadora CanorPro, our subsidiary, for $10 million US in cash, or Canada Gold stock at a floor conversion price of US 55 cents, or the previous 30-day trading average of Canada Gold, whichever is higher. So there's a floor conversion price of 55 cents. There's no ceiling on the conversion, and the company is covered with this financing with Grafton to build this first facility that we've been discussing in northern Peru. Let's rip through the management team very quickly. Dave McMillan, Executive Chairman, largest shareholder of the company, background in corporate finance, and former executive at Yorkton Securities. Andrew Neal, process engineer of mineral processing, years of experience in the mining industry, previously with Freeport McMoran. Many of you would recognize that name. Equally so, Rick Plotsky, Chief Operating Officer, great deal of experience in mine operations, maintenance, and construction management. Equally so, past experience with Freeport, some of the largest facilities that they've put together. Ian Clausen, independent director, tons of experience in the junior resource space, experience in Peru as well. Harold Forsley, CA, chairman of the audit committee, been around for a number of years, tons of experience in the junior markets. Slide 20, Mark Trans, your CGA, your Chief Financial Officer, and exceptional financial manager. There's myself, background in communications, marketing, capital markets, a variety of different ventures. Mark Trans, your CGA, your Chief Financial Officer, and exceptional financial manager. There's myself, background in communications, marketing, capital markets, a variety of different ventures. Just hitting the timeline, you can have a closer look at that if you like. We're looking at being up and running, we say late 2010 on the facility. Things seem to be moving very nicely. Walsh is working on the environmental impact assessment, and all things seem to be progressing as we'd like. Just in summary, near-term gold production opportunity with an attractive ROI potential. Long reserve life potential due to multiple ore sources in largely underdeveloped regions. Scalable potential for additional facilities in South America, Asia, and Africa. And what we consider an opportunity to mine gold, fight poverty, and very much improve lives. So thank you very much. That concludes our presentation. Appreciate you joining us, and encourage you all to take an opportunity to post any questions you may have about the presentation you just heard. If you're at the presentation in its scheduled time, then I encourage you to begin posting your questions now. Whereas if you're watching this outside of scheduled time, please post your questions now, and we will check back later for responses. Once again, appreciate it, and hope you have a great conference.